Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast, and today we're going to be talking about Chapter 6 of Crimes of Passion. So, we saw in the last chapter that at that gala, the murder happened, and this time the victim was Bethany, who we saw earlier hooking up with the mayor, who happens to be married at the same time. So, and we also almost got the killer, but they ran away. But we do have one piece of evidence, the murder weapon we have. So we come back to the agency, and Tristan was outside, so we go inside. We have a preliminary conversation with Luke and Ruby about how we're feeling after the killer ran away, and we say that the next time we're getting them. But then we see there was another danger on our door. So Mafalda calls us, and we see Captain Thompson, who we supposed to have. Supposedly, we have some old relation in the sense that we were in the police before, but then due to corruption and how bad it was, we left it and we joined this PI, private investigation agency. So, Captain Thompson, what she did basically, she caught the whip of us sniffing around for the murder of Sonja Dormer. And then we were also present at this place where there was a second victim killed, and the fire caught the whole house. So the mayoral house it was, I guess. So that was a pretty big wreck, and she basically threatens us, and so we can have we will deal with them, but we will see another side of Mafalda. So at first we thought Mafalda would be a hard boss, with like how she was shown at first, but she actually cares about us, even though Captain Thompson basically threatens to close the agency if she catches a whip of us sniffing around about this murder anymore. But then Mafalda tells us that we need to take some time off, and we'll have to do it carefully. So she actually understands us, so which is a really good thing that happened. But then we go outside, we have a conversation with Tristan, and we tell Tristan to go home. We go to the lab to Ruby, see what she has dug up. And there will be a diamond scene also in the lab where we can get another, chart, a card about Ruby. Like all her data will be there. Like we got one on Tristan, one on Sonja. So this will be pretty interesting, and we will also see how Ruby works, alone at the lab, and we'll have a conversation with Ruby. We'll keep Ruby company. Meanwhile, Ruby digs up information from the dead body that she doesn't have, but that was sent to a lab. But she does have some classified information, and she had the murder weapon knife, so the runes it had on it. She tries to dig up some information from it, and then she calls the doctor who actually had the body for post-mortem, I guess. And then on a call, we start to investigate. So we ask some questions. First, there was a V-shaped cut, not with that precision, so the heart was taken out supposedly, and there was an injection, perhaps. We also query, and when we inquire about that, we also gotten to know that there was something found in her system, body system. So it's the same process of murder, just like Sonja Dormer. So after all this information we got, and the Gaulish signs, the runes on the knife, then we come back. So that was a nice moment with Ruby getting to know our coworker. Before we worked with Luke, and now Ruby. And then we come back the next day, and we were sleeping at the agency, so there was a little fun moment. Tristan and they were throwing paper balls, I guess, and one was thrown at us before we were dreaming about our dad's death in the stadium, the same dream that we have always. So after that moment, we sort of tried to investigate the Gaulish signs, like what could be this, like who knows about this Gaulish history and everything. So Luke digs up one professor's name who does know about this Gaulish things, and we need to upgrade our outfit in a diamond scene here. So we will be leaving an impression to the professor and in the campus, so we can get more information out of him. So we go there with Tristan hand in hand, and Tristan will tell us that she will take the lead, or he will take the lead. They will take the lead, I should say. Gender customizable love interest. So there will be an option while talking who we should let go first. So that would definitely increase your plus detective score. Now, I do remind me if they said that the detective score will be necessary for something, just like in Wake the Dead, we had the hunter skills, like kill scores. I'm sorry. So our rank increased from hunter to annihilator and so on and so forth. How's that gonna play out here? I forgot, but maybe it's gonna come out, help us later in the chapters. But we'll see about that. Anyway, so we will learn a lot from this professor. So we'll question him, and so we'll learn about a goddess, Mara. So we will have all the questions answered, all the doubts we have. So it's basically, you know, we will show him the idol we got from Madani, Rahim Madani's house. So it would be the goddess real idol. So that would be something he would be really shocked. So we will be pretending to be researchers. We're doing a research on this and a student of this college. So he'll be really excited that we are interested about this topic. So that way we will get informations out of him, and then he'll also tell us a little history, like where did this Gaulish things, they originally come from Europe, but around 1950, as far as I remember off the top of my head, someone in America tried to create the same thing, but it didn't really work out. It just and this was different from the original. They had a lot of flaws, and this was more like a cult, and we say that maybe someone is trying to recreate this Gaulish thing rituals in the modern time. We asked the professor if he knows someone could be recreating this, but he doesn't know. And he also asks if we could show him, or if we can, arrange a meeting between him and this cult group who are trying to recreate the Gaulish cultures and history. But we say that we even are trying to find them. So one thing, this professor, he knows a lot about Gaulish things, and could he be somehow related? I mean, I know like he knows a lot about this because in New York, in a city like this, he's the only person who knows this much about. So can he be related somehow? I have I have my doubts on this guy. But anyway, he will give us the access to the library of this college where we can do some of our own research in a dimension. We can go down there, and when you go to the library, you also have a wholesome moment with Tristan, or love interest. Now again, this awesome, unique way of LIMC relationship they have here. You can Tristan will be out with their innuendos and sort of flirtiness, and we can either flirt back or just be casual and professional. So that totally depends on us. So that's what I really liked about this, that you have option, like you don't necessarily have to flirt or necessarily have to just dodge it. So it's up to you, choices. So courage to that. And then you also see we find a book where we learn about Mara, the hunting goddess, at old times. So remember, the idol had sort of three faces. So depending on which mask or which face she wore on a given day, it would determine what they should hunt for. So these are like mythological things. So we gather some information on that, and then we have a wholesome moment. So we were so close, almost pressed up against each other in the very narrow aisle of that library. So then we share a wholesome moment, almost a moment with Tristan. So we get drawn closer to each other, and then we pull back suddenly. So this slow burn between, like something's there, but it's just we didn't shrug it off, and we were sort of really nervous and weird. So I really liking it. So before they did it with Gabe a little bit in Laws of Attraction, but every time we see a love interest and every time we want to get them to bed and instant hookup, Sam, Reagan, those feelings building up so heavily. But this is like a genuine. This is how most real life relationships work out. At least this is a really good thing they're doing. This is good old choices thing. Like you talk about Most Wanted, you talk about some other like High School Story or America's Most Legible. So like the build up, like instant chemistry. It's good in novels, but sometimes when you write things to a more realistic point, or the build up, how their relationship is actually building up, that process I think is more appealing to me personally than instant chemistry with Sam and with other characters. So I'm pretty much liking it. And then we get out of there. So we were walking side by side on the campus. We take a moment and have a heart to heart with Tristan. We bring up the murder of Tristan's fiance, and that we believe that we know that she didn't kill, or he Tristan, they didn't kill them, but there was a cover up. Who she was, or who Tristan was trying to save, what happened really on that. Just try to talk this through. So we don't push it much because Tristan definitely seemed uneasy talking about this, but we definitely see the main character us, so we have a mutual trust understanding of Tristan, and Tristan appreciates that we think so far in this short time that we know that she or he Tristan, they aren't someone who can kill you know anyone. So what their family failed to see perhaps. So that was a really wholesome moment again. But then we receive a call from our uncle that there's a robbery, break-in in our bar, uncle's bar, and the guy who works for the bar is missing, and our dad's badge and some gun, I guess. So those things, the only memories left from our dad, physical memories, you can say, because of course memories always in our mind, but those memories left from our dad, those were also stolen by whoever did this break-in. So we'll have to go there and see how's everything. That's in chapter 7. So I'll be seeing you guys with chapter 7 review and the Princess Swap first impression pretty soon. Till then, peace out. And let me know in the comments your thoughts and your opinions about this chapter. What you like about this? What didn't you like about it? And yeah, I'll love to hear from you. Peace out.